Hello everybody, welcome back to Marvel's Avengers, and today we're going to be talking about the future of this game to see what we could be seeing in 2022 while we're all waiting for the roadmap. So what I decided to do was make a bunch of concepts for 4 heroes. I think I'm going to make more concepts in the future and make more videos about this in the future. Don't know when, but I've decided to write down a bunch of concept to see what we could expect in, or hopefully, well, what we could try to expect from Marvel's Avengers. Maybe, I don't know. So I decided to write down the hero. Of course, you always need a hero. I also wrote down the storyline, how the storyline will go and fit with the Kree invasion that's gonna happen very soon. I don't know when. Well, we all don't know when. It's gonna be a while till we fight the Kree. It's gonna be guaranteed that we're gonna be fighting the Kree at some point. And yeah, see what's new. So, without any further introduction, let's get right into our first hero. Okay, and our first hero is we're gonna be talking about Ant-Man first. Yeah. So I'm gonna see how the storyline goes. So the story, I have 2 separate storylines on how this could go. In the campaign of the Marvel's Avengers, when you're introduced to Hank Pym, there's one storyline I think like he mentioned about Hank Pym dying if he ever used his Ant-Man powers again. Like AIM kidnapped him and modify his stuff, so if he used the Ant-Man suit, he would die. But then Hank Pym could find some way to rework that, and then it would probably start off by creating Ultron. Hank Pym is probably gonna use Ultron to fight against AIM, and also to fight against the upcoming Kree invasion. See if he can do that, but then Ultron is just gonna do his original looking database, try to find out what his purpose was, and then he's gonna have the mindset of that if there is no world, there is no invasion. There will be no invasion to happen because Earth is going to be destroyed. You can't invade something then if it's not there. That will be Ultron's reasoning and mindset. Then afterwards, Hank Pym is going to blame himself for the problems that he's going to cause the Avengers. He's going to try to reverse the effects of the Ant-Man suit. If he puts it on, he's not going to die. But it doesn't really make sense because he's a faction leader, and yeah, I don't know how you can reconfigure that, and it's just, the risk is too big. So this is why I'm going to lead to storyline number 2. They're going to do the same thing with Black Panther, just showing you're just in Wakanda. People are going to raid it and all that stuff. And we're gonna have Scott Lang breaking into a facility because he's, well, broke. He's a thief. Scott Lang is a thief before he becomes Ant-Man. We all know this. Yeah, while he's trying to find materials so he can sell them, get some money, he's gonna walk into a room and there's gonna be like this big screen projected that is saying Project Ultron Resurrection, meaning that Ultron was a project in the past that they had to destroy, and then AIM is going to try to use Ultron to fight the Kree invasion, but that's never going to work out because Ultron has his own mindset of the same reasoning for storyline number 1 for Ant-Man. Excuse me. You know, the reason about no world equals no invasion. That's all the mindset for Ultron will be that. But we're not going to see Ultron in this storyline, maybe, unless they're going to approach storyline number 1, which I highly doubt that. Is better off if we use storyline number 2 with Scott Lang. But we're going to be but he runs off, and then he somehow stumbles across the Ant-Man suit. And then he's going to know, oh my, this is the Ant-Man suit. And then he's going to take that, and he's like, we're going to have massive bucks from it. But then he can't forget about the Ultron project because Ultron was a big problem in the past. So he has to tell somebody, but he has no contact with the Avengers. But he takes the Ant-Man suit anyways because maybe he can make some big bucks out of it. Who knows? But then the Avengers show up once he leaves the facility because Hank Pym tells them that one of the Ant-Man suits are activated because he probably has a record on his Ant-Man suits. I mean, it is his special work. It is the pin is very special to him. It's very important to him. So, without without that, he's just gonna learn how to fight. He's gonna find ways on where they're gonna create Ultron. We're gonna do that. Just play several missions to get what they're doing, how they're gonna do it, and when's it gonna happen, so they don't need the Ultron project. And in the final mission, we're gonna get our new boss, which they hired a special somebody because they know Ant-Man. I mean, because people aren't gonna think that Hank Pym is in that Ant-Man suit, but then they're gonna hire somebody's favorite little tiny mercenary, the Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket is gonna be hired to protect the Ultron project. He's gonna be hiring to protect that. It's like the same reasoning for the Super Adaptoid, to protect the Cosmic Cube. And yeah, so that will be the storyline, and at the end they're gonna find out that Ultron's released, and then there's gonna be a part 2 or maybe for Wasp. I don't know. I didn't write down a concept for her because I don't know how she's gonna be added into the game, if she is gonna be part of this game. But instead of that, I decided to write down their the intrinsic abilities, the support, assault, and heroic abilities. I also written down, I don't know about Ant-Man. I don't know about range. I feel like Ant-Man's range attack would be like, he will throw these little pin discs and then he just chucks them at enemies just to make them smaller. He's just automatically particle damage, automatic pin particle damage. So what I got here going on is his intrinsic ability is to shrink. That was obvious. He would just shrink. And his support will be Pym canisters. Now here's my reason. Those little health canisters around the map, you might see it in the gameplay that's being shown, like that's around the warbot at the moment. He will throw that down, like they're going to be tiny canisters that will become bigger, and then you can break them for health. And I think it would be a smart ideal for a support, and that'll be pretty cool. His assault ability will be an ant swarm. What is Ant-Man without ants? So he'll just do Ant-Man swarm, which will just deal damage, and at the same time daze them, stun them, however you say that word. And his assault will be Giant Man. It will be similar to Miss Marvel's ability where she embiggens, but I think Giant Man would probably do the same thing. It's like going to be the same scenario with the Hulk Buster slash embiggen Miss Marvel. Yeah, new boss. We already talked about that. Yellow Jacket, just to protect it. It's like Crossbones in the War for Wakanda storyline, and I think it will be a pretty good idea for that. Now let's talk to Tony Stark's formidable ally, War Machine. Yeah, so how this storyline will go is Tony Stark gets a phone call from Pepper Potts that Rhodey has a lead on AIM trying to replicate his technology because they raided Stark Industries. Replicate the armament suits, replicate Stark tech, make their soldiers stronger. And there's only one person behind it, or a few people behind it, but we'll get into that in a second. Anyways, what I was gonna say before is, like, before you start with the campaign, you're gonna do a solo mission by yourself with War Machine, and it's just gonna be War Machine raiding Stark Industries, taking out AIM, and then take back that outpost. Because I want Stark, because with this DLC, I think it would be cool to have Stark Industries as an outpost. Before, yeah, Stark lost all of his stuff in A-Day, and everything leads back to the Kree invasion. They're doing this because of the Kree invasion. They want to look good. Okay. Anyway, let's get on topic here. Our new enemy type would be AIM Iron Man suits. We're gonna be fighting just Iron Man copies, which will be different marked suits, different stuff. It would just be fun. I think it would be interesting to fight a clone of one of the Avengers. And our we're gonna also have a new outpost. Maybe the new outpost would be Stark Industries. That would be the beginning of the mission. War Machine takes back Stark Industries and use that as their outpost. Basically, just take back what was Tony Stark. It's basically Rhodey to save Tony Stark's legacy. The Stark Reddit. I am mixing up my words. And I think it would be interesting to have Stark Industries as a new outpost. I think it would be. And now let's get into our bosses here. The bosses will possibly be Ironmonger and Whiplash, or Whiplash. I feel like those two were known because one, they are like, what is it? They are Tony Stark's enemies, like Obadiah Stane, and I don't remember what Whiplash's real name is, so I'm just gonna call him Whiplash. I think it's Alexei. I'm not too sure. Hopefully, correct me in the comics if I'm, or comics. We're talking about comics over here. Comments if I'm wrong, but I feel like there would be the main reason behind it because they want to ruin Stark, but at the same time keep the suits that work for evil, and to be looked as, hey, Tony Stark is your enemy, and we are here to help. We are gonna save you from the upcoming Kree invasion or something like that. I don't know, just give their troops Iron Man suits and stuff like that. But that's not gonna work that way because they're not gonna. They just want Stark Industries. That's basically it. Money. They don't want to help. They don't care to help. They just want power and money. And Tony Stark dead, of course. But yeah, so that would leave with the boss. Now let's talk about War Machine's Interact. It will probably be the exact same as Iron Man, where if you use his range attack, just like the same. If you use his laser beam, rockets, and repulsor, that means the intrinsic meter will go down, just like War Machine. You will have, like, I don't know. I feel like you will have mortars, repulsors, and guns. Like the guns that he has. But yeah. So his support would be turrets. What is a War Machine without turrets? I feel like turrets would be a pretty fun way for this game. Okay, and let's talk about this assault. I feel like the assault's a little bit more complicated. I feel like the minigun should be active for 10 seconds or like a certain amount of time. What I mean is, like, you could be fighting somebody in front of you, but then the minigun all targets somebody from behind you. It's like kind of a safeguard situation, a safe and good damage. And here's the inspiration for the ultimate. The ultimate will just be barrage. Like, I'm gonna put a clip from Avengers Infinity War right here. Yeah, that's the inspiration for it from that scene in Infinity War where he just goes all out on those Outriders. But yeah, what I was about to say, it kind of also reminds me from the Guardians Rocket's final ability where it's just all barrages and stuff. I want to do the same for that. I think it will be pretty cool. And yeah, so that will be the War Machine, where you get your new outpost, Stark Industries, your new potential bosses, Ironmonger and Whiplash, new enemy types, the Iron Man suits, and just a whole new story, and Pepper Potts being the leader of Stark Industries again, where it's just like in the movies. Okay, now let's get on to the next hero, She-Hulk. Okay, so how I can see the storyline for this one is going to be extremely different from the rest I have written down. It will just be, I'm going to try to do this, like, the storyline I had planned for, like, what they did in the comics to the actual events in the Avengers game. Which, it's going to be Jennifer Walters arriving to the Hellcarrier, because Bruce Banner and Jennifer Walters, as a lot of people know, they're cousins in comics, and Jennifer Walters is a lawyer. So maybe she wants to help out and try to get the Avengers name to not be able to be deemed outlaws, so they don't have targets on their back and stuff. But while they're going to be talking about business about their plan to make the Avengers not outlaws anymore, AIM attacks the Hellcarrier recklessly. They wanted to sabotage the Hellcarrier just to destroy an outpost, and during that process, Jennifer Walters gets, well, you can see where this is going, gets injured. And with her getting injured, she's gonna lose a lot of blood, and then Bruce Banner is gonna do a blood transfusion, and then on, she becomes She-Hulk. And then they're gonna find out why they did it. Like, why were they so bold to attack the Avengers head on? Especially the Hellcarrier. Because they had a reason last time. They were trying to get Monica Rappaccini out. But this time, it was just out of nowhere. Maybe just due to the fact that the Avengers are just a big threat and always ruin their plans. That's probably one reason why they're sick and tired of it. Which I would be too if all my research was getting destroyed left, right, and center. Okay, enough with that. Okay, let's get on topic. What would She-Hulk do? The picture that I put from before, it was just funny to me that she had guns in her hand. But I was just thinking that she would do the same thing with the range attack with rubble, and her intrinsic ability would just be the same as Hulk, having a miniature healing factor. But then here, the heroic and assault and ultimate. I put for her support as brains and brawn. Basically, you and your allies are increased damage, and if you can put a perfect dodge, it increases that damage to make it a little bit stronger. And I'm not gonna lie, I completely don't know what her assault would be. Like, I don't want it to be the exact same as Hulk's, but I wanted it to be something different and unique, and I couldn't think of that. Maybe you guys can write down in the comics. I'm not a huge comic book nerd. Like, I like reading into it. I like reading into the comic lore, but I don't know what She-Hulk would be. But I did plan for an assault. Or ultimate. Her ultimate will put her into this rampage mode where she would deal lots of damage without getting stunned with every attack she hits. It's basically be a tank and do a lot of damage. I think it will be with nothing affecting, or actually maybe a higher armor and then just go ham on it. And let's talk about, okay, now let's talk about our bosses here. This leads back to the storyline. The storyline will go yada yada yada. AIM attacks the Hellcarrier. They want to know why, and I think they had more support than usual with this attack. And this attack would go from Secretary Ross. So meaning that it could be two people. I have two bosses in mind. It could be either Red Hulk or Red She-Hulk. So, yeah, or you could put both as the bosses, but they would be behind it. Well, I don't know about the Red She-Hulk. It's just kind of a slim edge, but Red Hulk would definitely be a good boss because, well, Red Hulk was a problem for the Avengers, and sometimes it also happened in cartoons. But sometimes it's interesting that Red Hulk was an Avenger at some point as well. It's kind of weird having a Ross hating the Hulk being the Hulk. It's just weird that way. So, yeah, that will be all for the She-Hulk chapter. Once again, if you can put a good idea to the assault for She-Hulk, I would gladly appreciate it. Okay, now let's move on. We are going to be talking about Captain America's formidable ally, best friend, but also turned bad, the Winter Soldier, aka Bucky Barnes. So how the story will go playing out is that you start in the Winter Soldier program. That you're in the Winter Soldier program, and then you see AIM Monica Rappaccini meet up with some German scientist. Which keep that German scientist in mind.
Maestro's hoarding Cavorite.
How am I gonna word this correctly? They strike a deal to make Winter Soldiers have inhuman ability, and for that trade-off, give the mind control to AIM's Inhumans. Basically, make an Inhuman army to fight the Avengers, which I think it would be pretty unique, knowing that there's some Inhumans out there. Like, we face the Adaptants, they're gonna be hard. I think it would be better to have, like, Inhumans that have super strength and super strength, minor durability, and having inhuman abilities. Yeah. Winter Soldier, okay, that was talking. And then Winter Soldier breaks out of AIM, or out of the facility, runs off, and then tries to seek the Avengers for help. But then in that process, like, how can I? It's basically my story point for the Winter Soldier is he's mind controlled. Is not effective, but then the Avengers get a phone call from no other than the Red Skull. I mean, that telling Bucky Barnes that, hey, you don't have that much time left. We will repair that chip, and you're gonna become one of us, and you will become an Inhuman, if you like it or not. So that's how that would go. So here we're gonna have Winter Soldier's Intresting ability, which I think it would just be the same as Cap, like give him stamina. And his range weapons, I came up with 3 weapons in mind. The weapons would be an AR, a submachine gun, and a sniper rifle. Because I'm gonna implement that as he is an assassin. He uses guns. He's a very tactical man. I don't know what I came up with. Like, if you have a better intrinsic ability, let me know. But here are the heroic, supports, and ultimate for him. His support will contain traps, like proximity mines. Like, you set up proximity mines all over the place, and if enemies run over those, they will blow up. That will be one support to be on. And then his assault will just be grenades, which will deal a lot of damage. Oh, I forgot to add in the proximity mines. They will also stun them too. But with the grenades, you can do a lot with grenades. It would be a big area, throw it down, blow it up. And his ultimate will be called Hydra Project. Activate the ability will give you greater strength and greater durability, and reload weapons quicker. Basically, you're just going to become like, you could become the best assassin that Hydra made you. Which is kind of ironic because Hydra's the bad guy. And now we got the new enemy types, Hydra agents. We want new enemies. We don't want just AIM, we want Hydra. We probably want the 10 rings at some point, but I'll talk about that in another video. And the new boss would be possibly Red Skull, and for a mini boss, Armin Zola, because I think it would just be interesting to have. And yeah, that will be, I think these concepts would be good for this game. If it's not this, I'm not gonna be disappointed about, like, it's mainly the fact about the roster. It's all about the roster. It's all about what's new for 2022 Avengers game, which I am happy about. We're all waiting for the roadmap to come out. It is taking a little bit of the time, but I'm gonna give them time to work things out. They might have a plan for us. We might get 3, 4 more heroes, because I know last year we got 3 heroes. We had what? We had Hawkeye, Black Panther, and Spider-Man if you had PlayStation, and then the Kate Bishop, which came out early. Yeah. I think that is all the time we have for this video. Hopefully that you guys enjoyed this video and thought my concepts of this game were interesting. I hope I didn't take this from anybody, because I came all of this up with my head. Like, I have a notebook right here, and I don't want to be called out for if I copied anybody's concepts, and if I did, I apologize. I'm not aware. So, yeah, I'm just gonna see what's next. I just want to see how long it would take for Maestro to beat him up now. It's basically what this video is all about now. This has been very fun, very different from usual. I'll record something gameplay-wise than just concept. This was very difficult to record. And yeah, and all projects go to Marvel Studios and Marvel Comics. All these pictures that I used, though, yeah, they get credit for it. I definitely get credit. The Marvel Universe is just really good. Okay, I'll see y'all on the next time. Bye bye.